So here we go, final event of the day here at Hednesford Raceway. This is the ramp rollover competition. If you've not seen one of these before, the cars will drive at the ramp and they will try and get the biggest rollover they can. Each car will get 3 runs, and then the overall total of the 3 runs is combined to decide. Here goes Aaron McGrath, our first one at the ramp. Over he goes, onto the roof and back onto the wheels again. So a full roll for Aaron McGrath, that is 4 points. Of course, the car will get a point for each side it touches, the wheels, the doors and the roof, which may necessarily not mean that the way the car finishes up equates the same amount of points, as they can twist and turn and get points in various ways. Here's our second man up, 782 Thomas Kalita in the lone Metro here this evening, making his way into turns 1 and 2. He's going to line up for the ramp this time. Here comes the Spalding based driver up the ramp, and the back end kicks up and over and over and over it goes. And that was end over end, and that is going to be a total of 12 points for Thomas Kalita, which by far and away is going to be a very difficult roll to beat on standalone points. So I repeat, 12 points for 782 Thomas Kalita. Third car up then, 447 Adam Turner in the Union Jack Mini, very fitting for today, as they make their way down the home straight towards turns 1 and 2, where they will start focusing on the ramp. They've got to hit it right, of course. Here comes Adam, hits the ramps. Oh, didn't quite go over, I'm afraid. So that's 0 points, nil points for Adam Turner on his first run of the day. So he's got a bit of ground to make up in his next 2 runs. 53 Nigel Foster now heads away in the Midnight Mini. Down the home straight he goes towards turns 1 and 2. So plenty of noise being made here as they make their way up to the ramp. Here he comes. He's clipped the ramp and over goes the Mini onto its side. He's scraping its side, then back onto the wheels again. He did again end up on 2 different sides, so that is a 2 points total for Nigel Foster. So 2 points for 53 Nigel Foster. Right, 5th man up, 619 John Smith from Scotland. He's making his way down the home straight in his cream and red Mini towards turn 1. And we'll see what he can do when the ramp hose into view. Here it comes. He hits the ramp and the back end kicks over, up into its roof it goes, and a huge barrel roll into the bend and back down on all 4 wheels. And that is a total, according to lap scores, of 8 points for John Smith, so our second biggest roll of the day so far. So next up is 145 of Scott Kinton in the all blue Mini with the white numbers, making his way down the home straight, and we'll see what he can do. Can he top Thomas Kalita's 12-point triple rollover? I wonder. We'll find out. Here comes Scott to the ramp. He's hitting the other side of the ramp, and it's onto its side, onto its roof, bounces off its roof and back onto its wheels again, and that is 4 points for Scott. The car did a half roll one way and then a half roll back the same way it came, so 4 points for Scott. As next up on the circuit is 62 Kieran Twig from Rotherham. He will make his way round to the ramp as well, and we'll see what can be done for this one. So into turns 1 and 2 goes Kian, waiting to see if the ramp's going to do the goods. We'll find out. He hits the ramp, he's hit a bit too ground, I think, and has gone straight over the top of it and come back on all 4 wheels. So again, 0 points for Kian Twig, the third car so far, I believe, so the second car I should say, so far to score no points. 83 Ben Singleton will be next in the blue and red Mini down the home straight, and let's see if he can have contrasting fortunes to the previous run. Here he comes up to the ramp, and he's missed it completely. Well, that does count as a run, I'm afraid. So that will be 0 points for Ben Singleton. So 3 cars in the first run scoring 0. Currently the leader is 782 on 12 points. We're back round to the start again now. So McGrath should be next for his second run of the event. Here he comes. So here comes the Blobby Mini. Around turns 3 and 4, just building up speed before he hits the ramp on the back straight. You should know how it works by now. I've had 8 runs so far. This is the 9th. So here comes Aaron onto the back straight. Here he comes. Hits the ramp on the other side. Up and over it goes onto its roof. And back onto its wheels again. So another full roll for Aaron McGrath. So that's another 4 points, taking his total to 8 so far. Next up is 782 Thomas Kalita for his second run of the day. Down towards turn 1 goes the UB40 Metro. He's lining it up as they come out of turn 2. Here comes the Metro. Oh, not quite. Again, another one that went up and then came straight back down again. So that's 0 points for Kalita, unfortunately, who's Still got a pretty good total despite that null attempt, as 447 Turner makes his way into turn 1 on his second run, hoping to do better than the nil point in the first run. Here he comes. He hits the ramp, and again the car just doesn't want to go over. So another 0 point attempt for Adam Turner, who is currently not doing all that well. He's yet to score a single point in this one. Nigel Foster is now away for his second run of the day. Down towards turn 1 goes the Midnight Mini. And let's just see if he can get as high as the moon. We'll find out as they go down the back straight onto the ramp. And oh, that's more like it, up into the air, straight down its side. Huge airtime and a spectacular roll as well into the bargain. So that's 10 points for Nigel Foster in 53. I repeat, 10 points, bringing his total up to 12 to add on to the 2 he got from his first run. And that certainly will probably win the award for the height. Right, next up is John Smith away again in the Mini. See what he can do. The second run, he did a very good first roll with 8 points on the board, which is the equivalent of 2 full rolls if the car was to go over conventionally. But the car did a bit of twisting and turning, which meant it didn't do so. Onto the ramp for a second time, up and over it goes again onto its roof, onto its a massive barrel roll into the bend, a more conventional roll this time. That's 2 1/4 rolls according to our lap scorer, so that's 9 points for John Smith, which has actually beaten his previous roll by 1 point. Next up should be Scott Kinton again in 145. Here he comes out onto circuit. He got 4 points with a rather interesting twist back onto the wheels on the first attempt. Into turn 1 goes the Mini. Is he going to go over this time? We'll find out. Oh, he's a bit of a tank snapper, and he's spun across the ramp and almost gone over into the parking lot on the centre green, but sadly for Scott that was not to be, and that's a 0 point roll for Scott. So again, another driver not picking up points. That's the 5th one today that's not managed to get points in one of their attempts. Kieran Twig back out there again, already coming up to the ramp. Here comes the 62 driver. He's hit the ramp this time and he's over onto his side, off the edge of the infield, and goes for a spectacular barrel roll into the fence. And that is 6 points for 62 Kieran Twig. So repeat, 6 points for Kieran, which is his first points of the competition. Right, next up is 83 Ben Singleton again, our last of our second attempts. He didn't score a point in the first roll, if you remember, so he is trying to get some points in this one at the very least. Here he comes to the ramp. He's hit it from the other side this time, up and over it goes onto its roof, and then it does a massive barrel roll off the centre green, very similar to Kieran's roll in the previous attempt, and that has scored 8 points because it went further onto its roof rather than its side on the centre green before falling off the side. Next up for his final attempt is Aaron McGrath in 957, who's got a rear puncture, as you can see, as the car just spun around on turn 3. He's just trying to get himself going again, and has ended up spinning again on the spot, so the left rear wheel, well, the left rear tyre I should say, been flat, so they're not helping that car get round. So he's coming to the ramp now, and we'll see what he can do this time. He's approaching the ramp, and we are going to have to avoid this attempt already, as the 145 car is too close to the ramp, so he's been shown the red flag, and Aaron will have to go again. As the 145 car, as you can see, is too close to the ramp, and if a car does roll, it is going to hit it, and we do need the 145 car moved before any other attempts of the rollover can take place. And once we've got the 145 car back to the holding area, we will send Aaron away for his third attempt at the ramp. Kieran Twig just going away to push the car away as Aaron just tries to get the car in some form of line. He's going to go again now. He's over on turn 1, and we'll see if Aaron can get the roll. Third time lucky. Like I say, his 2 attempts so far have been marred by a car stationary too close to the ramp. He looks like he's got a good run this time. Hits the ramp, over it goes onto his roof, onto his side, and then it will roll all the way back, and that is a total of 6 points for Aaron, his best run of the day at the very end. He scores a total of 14 points to conclude his tally on the rollovers. Right, Thomas Kalita away for his final attempt. What's he going to do as they make their way around turns 1 and 2 in the Metro. Here it comes up to the ramp. Is he going to get it over this time? He's on his side at the very least, and onto the roof. And that's all she rode. So just 2 points to Thomas Kalita, who just skates on his roof and hits the barrier on the driver's door. So that's 2 points for Kalita, bringing his total also to 14 points, tying with Aaron McGrath so far in the lead. So down the back straight, and in fact the home straight as well, goes 447 Adam Turner into turns 1 and 2, aiming for the ramp. Here comes the Union Jack Mini for its final attempt, and well, he's done better than the previous 2 rolls, actually got over this time. That was a very unusual twist and turn in the air for Adam, which as a result has given him 4 points, and that is Adam's total 4. So 4 points for Adam total, with 2 zeros and a 4, so it did come good for him at the very end, although he is very much out of the competition. Right, last attempt for Nigel Foster now. Can he get anything better than a 10? No, is the answer to that question. Goes across the ramp, lands on his wheels, and that is 0 points for Nigel Foster, giving him a total of 12 points. So a 2-point roll and a 10-point roll are the 2 that Nigel will end up finishing with. Right, on the home straight we can already see John Smith heading round for his 3rd and final brave attempt at the ramp. Here he comes. What's he going to do this time? He's clipped the ramp, and that's an unusual approach from John, but it's gone over in a rather uncomfortable fashion, I would imagine. But that is only 4 points for John, but that takes his total to 21 points, so he's going to be 7 points clear of the nearest challenger, and both of which have already finished their attempts. Scott Kinter now away for his final roll, currently on 4, so he's got to get 15 points in this roll to catch John, which is going to be very difficult indeed, as he makes his way off a turn 2 towards the ramp for the final time. He's clipped it, and he's over onto his roof, and then clips on his... Oh, massive roll! As he goes onto his side and then back onto the wheels again, clipping the fence. And with that, that's 10 points for Scott, giving him a total of 14, tying him with both 957 and 782. But that was not good enough to stop John Smith, who's on 21 and still leading. Cian Twigg now is the penultimate one for the ramp here. Here he comes. And he's hit it. Oh, massive air time, and that is a rather spectacular and good landing as well. Continues straight away, so that may get points for the landing, but the roll itself, 4 points for Cian, giving him a total of 10 points. A 6 and a 4 is the total for Cian, as of course his first roll was scored as null. Right, down the home straight, the final brave pioneer of the rFactor Ramp Rollover, Ben Singleton, making his way round to take to the ramp. Here he comes, hits the ramp. Oh, the car's gone over backwards and then off the centre green, and that's a rather big roll, and that is 6 points for Ben, giving him a total of 14. But your undoubted winner is 619 John Smith with 21 points, the first ever Ramp Rollover winner on rFactor.